Good day and welcome back. We're out here this morning. I'm going to put a skim coat on the first, well, I guess this was K1, so we're going to get this taken care of. We've got the third skim coat on the other, and that skim coat, as I'm kind of looking at it now, I can see some little ripply marks, but we're going to end up sanding that down. It's possible we may need to do a little bit more of a skim coat on the hull. I'm not sure about the deck, but we're going to prep this one here up, and I'm going to take some isopropyl, or I'm going to take some denatured alcohol, and we're going to rub this down so that we can get ready to put on our skim coat. I actually started, and then I found some drip marks because we did do the skim coat on the deck yesterday. So I stopped and got those sanded out. And you probably noticed I came over here and I've got a little spot right here. And I put a little drill mark in there. I'd actually take a drill and put it in, but I didn't want to get the drill out. See if we can get some epoxy underneath that. But let's go ahead and mix up some epoxy and get that skim coat on. Well, I've done about as much damage as I can do here. One thing that I am finding is it gets easier to do these skim coats. Actually, it's fairly simple to do a skim coat. Just take your time. By taking and really having that first sand really well, it works nice, a whole lot nicer. I see a little drip here, so I want to try to take care of that. And it was small, so we're only on our second skim coat here. So this is the one that works to bury the weave, and I think we've done a pretty good job with that. We've got to do a lot of sanding on the one up here. That one should be finished if we take this next sand and make sure that it's good. This one here is the second one, but it went on smooth. This next one's going to go on even smoother. So I'm pretty happy. We're just going to shut everything up. We're going to just take, I want to make sure that I don't touch anything. We'll shut everything up and let it dry, and we may come out and do some more sanding on these. That one there is really, I see some pretty big pock marks in there, but what we may end up doing is we may end up just sanding that down as best we can. We may have some little areas that we want to put some additional, another skim coat on, but we may try to pour do a front pour on that one there. If we can get both of them do a front pour, that'd be perfect. But you did see that I got all these little bits and bobs here. Those will be ready. Got 2 coats on those, but that's it. We'll come back a little later today. Well, we were able to get the skim coat finished on this one. I've just got it sitting here so that the hull is up, so maybe it can dry a little bit more. But we'll flip that over and do some work on there. I've got this one up in a tree. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do an end pour. This has 3 coats on it. I've not done anything from a varnish standpoint, and I think what I'm going to do, because I did come in here and really start kind of sanding some of these, as soon as this end pour is solid, I'm going to take and probably do some sanding on all sides of this, and then we will do our best to at least get 1 coat this week, 1 coat of varnish on there. But there's going to be a lot of sanding that has to go on with that. I'd love to be able to get varnish, at least 1 coat of varnish on both. But this one here, we need to sand this and then put another coat of epoxy on that. So let's come in here and we're going to get us about 8 ounces of epoxy, along with we'll put some wood flour on the bottom of that, and then this will be a massive ball at the end. But we're going to go ahead and mix that up. So that was the end pour, and I don't think you can really see it in there, but it's puddled up. And I made this so that it sat a little straighter. I think that's, so we're gonna have more in this area here. So I think that'll be good. So now we're gonna do, this actually made a really nice place to put this because it's kind of stuck up in there in the tree and it's not gonna go anywhere, so we'll let that just kind of do its thing. I think I'll bring the other one, take the other one back in, and I still wanna let that one dry a little bit more before we start doing any sanding on it, but I'll put it back in the barn and maybe that's something we can do later on.
So it's extremely warm out here, but that's not stopping me. I sanded this down, and you can see that's starting to get a little bit of the waffling out. This is still only the second coat so we buried the fiberglass, and so we're going to do another skim coat, and this is going to take this down a whole lot smoother. So let's just go ahead and mix up some material and get this skim coat on. Well, that wasn't the best choice. We started getting hardened up around here, and I should have just stopped. I should have never made 10 ounces or 10 pumps. I don't think it's 10 ounces. I should have never made that much, but that's going to be it. We're going to let this dry. That's the third coat, and this one here really went down nice. Things are starting to smooth up really well. I just think it's going to be some light sanding on this deck. Not like the other one, but I think we're there. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you probably tomorrow. Hey, we've made it back this morning, and we're going to try to figure out our plan of attack for today, because one of the things that we're going to do is we want to do kind of like some final steps on each of the kayaks. I know that this one down here, we definitely want to finish. We're going to do another, probably another skim coat of the deck, but it needs to be all sanded down. This deck here turned out really nice. Of course, we'll start sanding that when we get to the point that we're needing to start doing our varnish. And I wanted to check something here. I wanted to check the other side. I couldn't remember if we had done a second skim coat, or even a first one. Okay, we've done a first skim coat. So we buried the fiberglass, so that's good. So I think what we want to do is let's take these both out, and let's take and just sand them. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sand the deck on this one, sand the hull on this one, and then we can bring it back in and do the last skim coats. Well, that took a little time, but it's going to be well worth it. So what we're trying to do here is, you can see there's still some high and low areas. Low just because of the glossiness. And I don't want to get in there and hurt and really get into that. This is only the second coat on this one here. And so this is the one that buried the fiberglass. So what we're going to end up doing here is, eventually what you want to do is you want it to all be this kind of white color. So that shows that it's smooth. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take this, we're going to swap the boats out. I'm going to take a little denatured alcohol and rub this down. We'll swap the boats. I'll do the deck of K1, and then I'll probably bring this one back in, or I don't know. One of the ones I'll bring back in and do probably just keep K1 in here and do a skim coat and let that dry. And then we'll bring this one here in. I guess one thing we could do is, we could do a skim coat on K1, drop this one up against the tree, do a pour in it. It could. Well, we'll think about it. So let's go ahead, and we're going to take some denatured alcohol and rub this thing down, and we'll bring the other one back in. Okay, we switched these things around, and what we're going to do is, we're going to come in here and work to get the waffle out as best as we can. We're going to do this with about 120 grit paper to get it down. Shouldn't take too long, and then what we'll be able to do is then put another skim coat on here. All this sanding for a little while. We're going to take and get some denatured alcohol and get this all rubbed down. Then what we're going to do is, I'll put a skim coat on this. I think we will set the other kayak up in the tree there and rope that off and do an end pour. So we'll come right back at you. So there we go. We've got the final top coat on of epoxy. It's still a little dusty, but we have buried the fiberglass completely. This is already becoming extremely smooth. Got some really good lines to it. Really happy with this sand, and also, ooh, see a little piece there. Probably need to get that. But real happy. Just hope no bug gets in it. Well, I actually think I have probably done enough damage for today. Really strong weekend. Fantastic effort to get where we need to be with these. This is the last skim coat, so I think we can really get this smooth the next time we do another coat, because we'll sand this down and it'll be ready for varnish. Same with the one up there. That'll be ready for varnish. We can sand the hull as well. We did go out and look for where we're gonna drop these boats in for the very first time. I still think I am gonna put them in the pond here, just to make sure that they float. You'd hate to be out someplace and them not floating, or they start taking on water. Then you have to kind of figure out what the heck you're going to do from that standpoint, because that'll ruin your day in a quick minute. So I do feel that this is going to be it for, I did get this, so I do think, now if I had something to take and do a better job of getting those air bubbles out, I am going to do a little research about heating this up. Of course, you can't do anything with it now, but especially with varnish, will it help if I take and then take a heat gun to it, get it to lay flat? That should be good. But I'll brush this one more time and then we'll leave it alone. But that should be it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up if you like the content. Make sure to turn on your post notifications to catch all the episodes of The Bucket List. Thanks for watching.